Welcome to the Sharon Cliff podcast. Today's episode is called Help. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Now, there was an article recently in MAMAMIA, and a fellow business coach wrote the article all around how she outsourced her admin and her business. And she came from her perspective about, what she'd done, the reasons why she did it and how she did it and how much it cost her. And there was a lot of comments supporting and championing that. And there was a lot of comments around that was a bad thing, that it was, privileged, or that it was, why isn't your partner doing more? And I don't want to get into that debate. The debate that I want to get into is that as women, we try and do it all. We try and do all the things, and entrepreneurs are even worse. For years and years, and I've said this on previous podcasts, is, I try to do all the things. And people said to me, how do you do everything? How do you do all the stuff? Like, you must be so busy, you must be exhausted, all that stuff. Yes, you are so busy and you are so exhausted. So asking for help or getting help, so whether it's asking for help, which to me is free help, or getting help, which is more the paid help, is it good or is it bad? Here's my thoughts. Controversial or not, it's my thoughts, it's my opinions, it's my show, but I would love you to DM me on social media and let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm open to everyone's thoughts on this. I don't want your opinions. I don't want, your opinions in negative spaces. I would generally like to start the conversation around this. So we're trying to do all the things. We try and do all the things at work, and we try and do all the things at home. And we just do so much stuff that, there's probably things that we don't need to do. So the things that we don't need to do, don't do it. Cut that crap out of your life. There's things that you can delegate. Now, whatever kind of relationship you're in, there is no reason why you can't delegate more to your partner. Because you know what? It's 2022, baby. It's not you do that and I do this. I always try to tell my husband, I'll do inside, you do outside. But you know what? Sometimes I'll do stuff outside and he'll do stuff inside. So delegate. Share the load. There's no reason why partners can't, you can't both cook and clean and do the grocery shopping and bath the kids and drop kids off and, spend hours sitting there watching kids do sport. There's no reason why you can't do the tasks together. It's a marriage, and whether you're married or not, it doesn't matter. It's a piece of paper. It's you're both there as a partnership together, and you need to share the load together. So that's one thing, delegating the work between the two of you, taking the load off. When I might like to mow the lawns and my husband might like to do the ironing next week, that might be how it is. So it doesn't have to be those traditional things where it's like, I'll do the cooking, the cleaning, and the washing, and he'll wash the car and do the lawns and clean the pool. It could, we could switch it around. Delegating. Don't forget your kids, girls. Kids, no matter how old they are, unless they're newborns, get them working. They can get their, if they're 2 years old, they can get their plastic spoon and plastic bowl and plastic cup out of the cupboard and put it on the table. They can grab their clothes and, help you fold them. It'll be fun. Make it a game. Teenagers, they can put their stuff in the dishwasher. They can take their folded laundry up, from the table and put it in their room, or from their bed and put it in their drawers. Kids can wheel wheelie bins out. Yep. Last I saw, they could. If you go grocery shopping, bring them along to help. They can push the trolley while you select the groceries. Kids can help with dinner. They can stand there and stir something while you're cutting something else up. When you come home from the groceries, they can help grab those groceries out of the boot. Unless you want to, get your steps up and grab the bags one at a time and bring them in. That is a great idea. They can help you put them away. So like when I come home from grocery shopping, my kids put the groceries away. Generally because they want to eat half the stuff, or they want to see what's there, or they want to fight for the chocolate bars first, but they're still helping. That's good delegation, and we have it so that, I'll cook one night, my husband will cook another night, one of the kids will cook another night, one of the kids decides he doesn't want to cook, so he'll order Uber Eats for everyone. It's sharing the load as well. And So, you know, there's the tasks that you don't need to do or don't want to do that you could really just delete. There's the tasks you can delegate. Well, not tasks, but chores or whatever they are, the things, you know, you delegate them. The other thing you can do is the things that you don't have time for, what are you going to do? The things that you don't like or don't bring you joy, what are you going to do with those? Here's some ideas. You could ask someone to help you with them, whether that's the kids and the partners or other people. Ask them to help. If you've got a friend that loves ironing because she's a nut, let her do your ironing. Maybe you could mop her floors because she hates mopping their floors and you're driving Miss Daisy on the mop. You know, is there some way that you can help some of your friends? You know, like someone might not be able to do their shopping. You help them do their shopping and they'll drop your kids off. You know, how can you share the load around that way? So helping, so not paid, but getting your friends and family and neighbors. How can you help each other offload some of the tasks that you don't like? You know, someone might not like gardening and you love gardening, so you'll get out and do that. And they might like washing the car, so they'll wash your car. You do their gardening, they'll wash your car. Things like that. And there's also outsourcing. So this is where it's paid, you know, and not, I mean, look, everyone's got a cleaner these days. I actually don't have a cleaner. I would love to have a cleaner. It's on my list of 2022. I've had them, and then I didn't have them, then I've had them, then I didn't have them. And cleaners aren't luxury. They're not luxuries anymore, people. They are pretty much every household's got them. And they're not that expensive. You know, you're talking $30 an hour for 2 hours, you know, every fortnight. If you don't have a coffee, a takeaway coffee for 2 weeks, Monday to Friday, it's going to pay for your cleaner pretty much. You know, and if you don't get takeaway, you know, one night a week, that could pay for your cleaner. So when you're outsourcing, think about what it is that you don't like doing, what you don't have time for, or what doesn't bring you joy. So you know, if you don't like ironing, how expensive really, like if you stand there ironing and you hate it and you could be doing something else with your kids or with your family that you love, or you could be spending that hour working and getting money coming in, then what really is the cost of getting someone to do your ironing? Or what's the cost of someone getting to do your cleaning? So if you outsource your cleaning, it costs you $70. You know, what income can you bring in that time, or what quality of time or quality of life can you get in that 2 hours that you could spend doing something else that you love and that you enjoy? Because it's not just about the money here. It's about how you feel and how your time is best spent, what brings you joy. If cleaning doesn't bring you joy, and going and doing stuff with the kids or going and doing work that brings in money, brings you joy, then get someone else to do that. So, you know, if cleaning bathrooms doesn't bring you joy, if washing your car doesn't bring you joy, have you got kids that you could pay? Is there kids in your street you could pay? Is there someone that details cars that could come and do that? Now, with our lawns, like my husband was always, you know, away all the time through the week, and I didn't want him spending 3 or 4 hours on a weekend to do our lawns. So we always paid, you know, a professional company to do it. But now we pay the 14-year-old kid in our street money to come and do it. We're paying a local, you know, up-and-coming person that wants to work, trying to build a business. He's earning pocket money so that he can save to buy a car. And we're supporting, you know, small business. And so now he does our lawns. So it's a win-win. My husband's time is not best spent mowing lawns, and he wants to build a thriving business so he can buy a car. It's a win-win. And yes, that's an example of, you know, the male things. And I said this was all around help. And yes, predominantly my market is around helping females. So, but ladies, it's the same thing. If you don't want to think about, you know, different meals that you've got to cook, or don't want to get food, don't want to go out and do all the meal planning, then there's lots of meal planning or, you know, meal delivery companies that can do that for you. Because if you don't love doing that, then don't do it. You know, if you love cooking but don't love the idea of having to think about what's for dinner every night and going and buying all the ingredients, there's places that will deliver the recipe cards and all the ingredients you need, and you just got to cook it. You're not outsourcing the love of cooking, you're just outsourcing the preparation of that. And you might find that that's much more efficient by, what we might think it's more expensive by doing that. That's much more efficient than you having to sit there and think, every day for 10 minutes, what are you going to cook, and then go and get the ingredients and run out and do that every day. It actually might be more efficient to get that brought in and then cook your own meals. So that's another way. The other thing is, when people start to talk about, things like cleaners and that are for the privilege and outsourcing, it's not, because, as I said, you don't go and have that $5 takeaway coffee Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. You've saved enough money to get your lawns mowed, or get your cleaning done, or get your ironing done, or, get that other food delivered. And you could quite easily have your coffee at home before you leave, or pop your coffee in a takeaway cup and take it with you. It's, if you find that, you hate cleaning and you would love to get a cleaner, but you just think, I can't afford it. Where's some other ways that you can save? So, is it that you get your hair done every 6 weeks instead of every 4 weeks? Because then you've got that extra money that you could spend doing cleaning. If cleaning is the real, deal breaker for you, where you hate doing it, and you really know that your time is best spent somewhere else, and you get more energy doing something else, then have a look and see. You're leaking money everywhere. Where can you find that money so that you can bring yourself some joy? So that outsourcing is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, because you don't want to, when I'm saying about, outsourcing and getting people to do cooking and cleaning and washing cars and doing ironing and doing gardens, and that's just the home stuff. We don't want to do those things as a detriment to your family, to your family's financial position. If you can't afford to do those things, then don't outsource them. Maybe if you just had someone come in and do the bathrooms and you clean the rest of the house, you're outsourcing, but you're not putting your family in a worse financial position. Is there some things at home that you could sell that could buy you, 2 months or 6 months worth of cleaning, because you've sold some junk that's laying around that could actually pay for your cleaning, and then you're getting rid of stuff, and you're recycling, and you're also someone's buying something they need that you have that they want. So that's another way that you could make extra money, so that you could outsource some of those things just to bring more joy in your life. And if you start to look at the different ways that you can actually cut costs, this is a great time of year to go and have a look at, what are your phone bills, electricity bills, water bills, insurances, compare health funds. I once saved like $500 a year just by switching my mobile phone bills around, my mobile phone packages that I was on, the plans I was on. I saved heaps of money and got better benefits by switching my health fund. So if I go through, and January is a great time to do it, go through and look at all those different things that I use with all my electricity and gas and water and all those sorts of things, and insurances. Insurance is a massive one. And say, well, you know what? I've just saved, $2,000. 1 year I actually did. I saved about, I think it was like $1,500, because I saved $500 just on phones. But if you look at that and go, well, that'd pay for a cleaner for the whole year. That'd pay for a lawnmower man for the whole year. That'd pay for, whatever it is that you want. That would bring your family more joy. That would, unhook you from some of that domestic, those domestic chores which you don't love, which you don't like, which you don't enjoy. And it's the same in business. It's, if you don't like doing accounts, get a bookkeeper. You don't have to go and hire an accountant. Get a bookkeeper, or get some kind of, junior that's still going through uni that could help you. If you don't like doing marketing, you can still do your message and all that sort of thing, and put you into all your marketing. You don't have to go and hire a marketing company. You could do a marketing, a small agency, or a marketing consultant. Or you could go and get a uni graduate, or someone that's at uni that needs the hands-on experience. You don't have to spend a fortune. You could also swap. If you're a great bookkeeper and you want someone to do marketing, you could swap with someone that wants your services. So, you could do their bookkeeping and they could do your marketing. Swap services. It's like at home. There's no reason why you can't be swapping services around, because it's a great way to try those services and see whether they work. And then, if it's working really well, you could then say, well, hey, you know what, let's get some monetary gain from this as well, and start paying each other. It's just a way to start to, ease those tasks in without having a big monetary expense in there as well, and seeing how much of a difference they make, because honestly, once you bring one of those things in, you will never go back. And it's, you know, don't think about, I have to outsource this because that person's doing it. You know, I don't have to get I need to get a cleaners, all my neighbors have got cleaners, or I need to get a VA because all the other business coaches have got VAs. No, that is the wrong reason to outsource. You outsource because you don't have time, it doesn't bring you joy, it's not in your zone of genius, and you dread doing it. And if you did it, it would take twice as long than when you paid someone to do it. That is the reason why you outsource. You delegate because you either have other people in your household that could do those chores, or you have a team that you can delegate to. So, recapping here, is it good or a bad thing to outsource or delegate? It's a good thing. It's only a bad thing if you put yourself in a worse financial position by doing that. It's also a bad thing if you do it for the wrong reason. So you're doing it because you're keeping up with Joneses next door and they've got a cleaner and a lawnmower person and someone washing their car. You're doing it because there are other business coaches, employed a marketing team and a VA and all this sort of stuff. Don't do it because someone else is doing it. Do it because you know that you don't have the time, it doesn't bring you joy, and you know that by bringing these people in and outsourcing and delegating, it will free you up to do more of what you love, more about what you're passionate about, more things that drive financial revenue into your business. You also want to make sure that you're outsourcing just before you need to, or delegating just before you need to, because otherwise you'll get to a point where you're going to explode, or you get to a point where you get so overwhelmed that you actually don't have the time to then try and outsource. So do it just before you need it, just before you have that brain snap. So I hope this has helped, and hopefully it's given you some good ideas around delegating and outsourcing, and that it is okay not to do all the things. It's okay to ask people for help, and that could be short-term or long-term. It could be for a day, it could be for a week, it could be for a month, it could be for a year. It's also okay to bring on help. And it doesn't mean you're bringing in a cleaner every week or every fortnight. You could get someone in once a month just to do, you know, that bit of a detailed clean. It could be that you just got someone in, you just did the meals on the days that you worked. You know, if you're only client facing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you just got meals for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you don't have to worry about cooking for those days. Just be realistic and practical. Use common sense with it. So, you know, and it doesn't have to be a massive expense. If you budget it in correctly, and as I said, lay off on the coffees and donuts Monday to Friday, and you'll actually be able to afford to do these things. Because have a look at where you're spending your money. Where's it leaking? Where's it leaking out of that bucket? Have a look and you'll be surprised. And it's actually a good time to sit down and budget and go, okay, well, where are we spending these things? You know, have we got Netflix and Stan and Binge and Foxtel? Do we really need all those? Probably not. There could be some of your outsourcing expenditure. So that is it for today's podcast. If you loved it, let me know. Shoot me through a message on social media. If you love this, leave a review and also share it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe as well. And if you want to know more about, you know, what you can actually do to, you know, delegate or outsource, reach out, because I would love to sit there and work out, you know, what more can you do to bring more joy in your life so that you can do the things that you love and less of the things that you hate. Thanks so much for watching or listening.